Agribusiness brought to you by SureCrop, quality liquid crop nutrition delivered right to your farm.
Good morning and welcome back to the 2013 Kansas Soybean Expo here in Topeka. We're joined by Mr. Henry. Bob, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
Bob sits on the board of ASA, and you also farm here in the state of Kansas, so it's nice to have someone from Kansas on the board of ASA. ASA, they do a lot of things, do a lot of different things. We spent some time talking off camera about some of the things that ASA does, and it's very involved. Why don't you kind of give us a little bit of background of some of the things ASA does?
Well, our main focus is to work on policy and legislative issues, also to help develop leadership for the soybean industry, both through the association side as well as USB, and those are our main focuses and where we spend most of our time and energy, plus educating growers with education programs such as we did today with K-State people. Help initiate programs to help producers do a better job of raising soybeans. So those are some of the areas that we specialize in on the state level. At the national level, we work with USAC, the United States Soybean Export Commission, and marketing soybeans overseas. So where every other row of soybeans that we grow is exported, and of those rows, every other row of that goes to China. So those are big markets when half the soybeans we raise are exported. So big money for American soybean producers.
And Kansas soybean farmers as well. Let's talk about something that's probably been in the news here lately, and talking about ASA and the legislative work they do. Let's talk about the Farm Bill. Kind of got a little 90-day reprieve on the Farm Bill. Not much really got done on it, but we've got something in place that I think everybody can live with, and hopefully in the next 90 days we'll get it approved. The role ASA played in helping secure that.
Well, one of the big items that ASA pushed for in 2012 and trying to get a Farm Bill passed was
which didn't happen,
but we got an extension, so that's better than nothing.
Right.
Was to manage risk with the high input costs and the high value of soybean products, to how do farmers manage that risk and to keep the crop insurance program intact and to keep that fully funded, plus other ways in times of short crops or disasters to form a safety net to protect the profitability or the financial stability of soybean growers in those difficult situations. So we've worked very hard with those programs, trying to keep those intact to be available to producers. Now with the extension, we're dealing with writing a new Farm Bill. What we hear back from Washington, we'll see where that goes. We're still going to push for the same programs that we were trying before the first of the year into the new Farm Bill. So it will be an interesting process again, I'm sure.
Well, crop insurance being one of those main issues that all farmers, doesn't matter if you're in Kansas or if you're in South Dakota, crop insurance is a vital, important role in maintaining your ability to stay in business.
That's right, with high cost of inputs, and we found out this year with the drought over such a big area how that can impact production, and it's not. Sometimes these conditions are localized, but this year it was all over the whole corn and soybean belts. So there's a way we need to manage that risk. Most farmers, we're not looking for a handout, but we're looking for some insurance to help cover those losses in those bad years so we can stay in business till times get better.
Perfect. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about child labor laws and a few other things with Bob. You're watching Ag AM in Kansas. We'll see you in a minute.
Agribusiness brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Thank you for staying with us. We're at the 2013 Soybean Expo here in Topeka. We're joined by Mr. Henry. Thank you for staying with us, Mr. Henry. Bob, you sit on the board of ASA, and before we went to break, we were talking about the extension of the Farm Bill we got, crop insurance, but something else that kind of cropped up last year through the Labor Department was child labor laws. And you and I spent a few minutes talking about just how devastating that could be to family farms here in the state of Kansas. It could be devastating.
Yes, and we understood how, with the family farm situation, where farmers and their children or their neighbors' children come and help do chores and do activities on the farm, which are a learning process for young people to learn responsibility, but also a help to the parent or the farmers to do some of those tasks. And Department of Labor wanted to regulate those and really deny all the permits and all the regulations to even have your own kids go out and help feed the chickens or move the tractor or whatever it was. And that was going to be unacceptable to a farm family or to agriculture in the whole. And so ASA took a lead position, as many other ag commodity organizations, on fighting that and bringing to the surface the value of that and how it was kind of unregulatable, if that's a good word, but and how important that was. And most farmers are very conscious about safety, so that was one of the concerns from the labor people. Well, it's dangerous, but we understand that, and we take care of our kids and make sure that the conditions are right and safe for them, whatever they're going to do. So that was one of the big issues that we had an active role in.
Do you think that really kind of stems from migrant workers who come into the U.S. and kids spend the summer picking whatever it might be, blueberries or whatever it might be? You think it kind of stemmed from that, not knowing that Kansas farmers, family farms, that's really not what goes on?
Well, I think there was a misperception about that. And some of the people that you talk to suddenly realize, well, wait, if they're going to come out and try to regulate our families and our kids, then what are they going to regulate next? And where do you stop?
Right.
Where do you stop this? So I think that good sense finally took over, and they realized that this was probably not an area you want to get into, and it wasn't going to work. So.
Well, in the minute we have left here, we talked about exports earlier in the first segment. We got to visit about exports are strong, continue to stay strong.
Yes.
Again, that goes back to ASA's work in teaching other companies or other countries not only how to best utilize soybeans, but maybe some of the byproducts of crush.
Right. I've had the opportunity to travel to different parts of the world, and just more recently into the Southeast Asia part of the world, into Thailand and the Indonesia area, and to travel there and see a lot of those developing, emerging countries have emerging economies, and as goes on in the rest of the world, when people's income comes up, first thing they want to do is improve their diet, and they want more protein, and that means animal protein, which are the biggest customers we have for soybean meal.
Perfect. Well, Bob, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate your time. And remember, ASA does work for Kansas farmers. You may not see it every day, but they get out and do work for Kansas farmers.